Hi everyone, it's Joe here from Lawn Solutions Australia, and we're in beautiful sunny Orange today, and I'm here with Ben Sims from Lawn Tips. How you going, Ben?
Going good, mate. Thanks for coming along.
A lot of you would have seen Ben's channel on YouTube and his project where he's building a par 3 golf hole. So we're going to have a little wander around today and check it all out.
Sounds good.
So we're standing here on the Tiff Tough fairway, but before we get too much into grass, why don't you tell us a little bit about the project, about the farm and what you're doing here?
So, I think it was about 2.5 years ago, I moved to this property here. So it used to be a horse paddock, this area here, some stables up the back. Down the back used to be a big bog hole. We used to have fences all around the outside. So it's just like, it was like your classic farm like. When we came to buy this property, I looked across and I envisioned the golf hole next to the dam, and so it all just sort of snowballed from there.
And then it took a little bit of work. If people want to follow along the channel, the Lawn Tips channel, you'll see it's been a roller coaster. What do you think's been the toughest bit about it so far?
The toughest bit, I think working by yourself, to be honest. Doing all the projects by myself's probably been the hardest thing. Like, especially coming from a greenkeeping background, working around blokes all the time, bouncing off ideas off people. Working by myself and carting like 100 tonne of gravel into there by myself, and then 240 tonne of sand, and then seeding it, looking after it by myself. That's been the hardest thing. I mean, when we got the Tiff Tough down, at least we got the guys from the turf farm helping out and actually helping us lay it out.
Western Plains Turf.
Western Plains Turf, exactly. Because doing that, I was going to do it with 3 or 4 mates, and I'm glad I didn't.
It can be hard to recruit mates when there's hard work that's got to be done. But
100%.
The Tiff Tough fairway is looking unreal. So you've got a bit of cool season grass here, which we're going to go have a look at in a second. But why warm season and why Tiff Tough for the fairway?
So the main reason I went with Tiff Tough on the fairway is mostly water saving, to be honest. Like, we've got bore water and I've got a couple of tanks up the top, but I don't have unlimited water on this area, so I can't water it. Like cool season grass, I have to water like 3 to 4 times a week in the middle of summer. The Tiff Tough, like a couple of weeks after laying it, I think I watered it once every 2 weeks. And it was still shining, as opposed to the cool season grass, which had all these patches that start going grey and brown. So massive thing. And I'll start doing, I've also got a zoysia fairway going to go up the back as well. Which is another warm season grass variety, and it's just mostly water saving me. And this is self-repairing as well, whereas most of my cool season grass just sits there and doesn't do anything. So
you got to reseed if you do a patch.
Exactly, got to reseed. This will fix itself. So
it's looking great. So the Tiff Tough fairway, we've got a zoysia, probably a Segrange zoysia fairway down the bottom. Now, zoysia grass and couch grass are 2 different kettles of fish. 100%. Have you had a lot of experience with zoysia? I
haven't, so that's the reason I want to go with it. So I've only really experienced what I've read in books, to be honest, man, and I've got a couple of pots I've worked with over time, but I'm interested to see how it goes in Orange.
You'll enjoy it. I think it's going to be good.
I think it'll be cool. Very different.
We'll move off the warm season grass and we'll have a wander down the cool season and check out the greens and check out the surround.
Sweet.
I don't like to call this the hero of the project because I think Tiff Tough is, but we'll call it the hero of the project is the green and the surround. So what are we talking cultivar wise, cut height wise, and what's the benefit of using a cultivar like what you've used?
Yeah, so what's the height of cut would be at 3.5 mil. So 3.5 mil on this. Generally I have it around 3 mil, but I've just done a reno about a week ago. So I brought the height of cut up a little bit to stop some of the scalping patches. But the cultivars are 777, 007, and flagstick, and that's a bent grass. They're all different bent grass cultivars. So, and the reason I went for the mix of all those grass types is mostly for disease resistance, and also a little bit better with the heat as well when you start mixing them together, because if one patch struggles a bit, the other patch will take over and fill in those areas. Same with the disease as well. One variety might get hit by the disease, but the other ones will recuperate that damage. So that's the main reason I do it. And the 777 in here is super aggressive as well. So it spreads out like crazy. You can even see it started to spread into the surrounds a little bit as well.
So what's the germination time for a bent grass if you were to seed today?
7 to 10 days. But I pre-germinated all this stuff, so I put it in a little bucket, put some fungicide, fertilizer, and stayed in there for about 4 days. And then once we actually sprayed it out with a hose, did a pump and just put it out with some water and a hose, it took about 3 days to come up. So.
And then you're putting on it in what, 8 weeks or something?
Yeah, you're looking, to be proper playable, you're looking about 12 weeks. But you can putt on it and get a bit of a roller for about 8 to 10 weeks.
And the green itself, now again, I encourage you all to subscribe to Ben's channel and check it out. But this was quite a project. So
Yeah, it was.
It's
fun though.
In a nutshell, what's underneath here? What are we playing on?
So proper USGA spec'd green, which means underneath we put in, I think it's about 150 meters worth of ag drain underneath it.
Yep.
At 100 mil size and diameter. And then we put 100 mil of gravel on top of that, packed it down, and then did 300 mil of USGA spec sand, which was 240 tonne of sand, 100 tonne of gravel.
100 tonne of gravel and 240 tonne of sand.
Of sand, yeah.
Here. And then what? Compact, level, seed straight on top.
Yep, exactly. Compact level, and then just that's all it is. Seed straight into sand.
And this is all done with a push mower.
All push mower, yep.
Yeah. So how long does it take to mow this?
Only half an hour to do a single cut.
Yeah.
So I normally do a double cut, which, because you're not doing surround passes and stuff, ends up being about 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, righto.
Double cut.
Better doing one than it is doing 18, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. And I wouldn't walk mow 18.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys do, but they've got the staff. But
yeah.
I don't walk mow the surrounds. That's all done with triplex.
Let's talk about the surrounds quickly now. So we've got bent grass greens, and is this just a pure ryegrass?
So it's right. It's pure ryegrass with a couple of different cultivars in there as well.
Yep.
Little blend I've got. That I do with advanced seed. But yeah, just they're all SR varieties. So the reason I like the SR varieties of ryegrass is just that real dark.
Yeah.
The real dark green that it has naturally. Like this hasn't had fertilizer in, oh man, it would be like 12, 15 weeks, I think.
Yeah, right. The colour's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the contrast you get between the rye and the bent is another thing.
Yeah.
Your next step here would be to reno the ryegrass?
Yeah, so it needs a bit of a reno because I've got a bit of paspalum, a little bit of Patterson's curse in some areas and some cudweed, but most want to do a reno because I got a few dry patches throughout the season.
Yeah,
couldn't keep the water up to it. Went away on holidays and just ryegrass. If you let it go for like 3 or 4 days, gets dry patches and it won't recover. From dry patches because it's just a bunch type grass. So I just want to core aerate it, probably scalp it down a little bit to help with a bit of the above ground thatch. Doesn't get too bad underneath. Yeah. And then overseed and top dress it.
Yeah. Do you regulate this at all on PGO? I
haven't yet, actually. No, I should have this season because I fell behind in mowing, which is why I had to do a bit of a reno because it built up a lot of thatch. Yeah. So I should be mowing it like every 2 days, and I was falling back to once a week. Yeah. And because it has quite some aggressive cultivars, it was just getting so long, and then I'd scalp it back, get long, scalp it, and it just ended up building up a ton of thatch. And keeping a green like this in check obviously involves a lot of work because it's a big green, but we get a lot of questions all the time about people with tip-tuff lawns, common couch lawns. They want to cut a green into their common lawn or into their tip-tuff lawn, for example. It can be achievable with warm season grass, can't it? 100%. Yeah. We look, if you go to Queensland, or even if you're looking at like the golf courses in Florida and stuff in the States with the PGA, that's all like Bermuda grass, which is couch grass. Yeah. So a lot of that is mostly got, but it's always hybrid. So tip-tuff, you can actually get down to greens height. Just because it's a bit more aggressive, you need to be mowing it. Yeah. And grooming it a little bit more often and be a little bit more particular with it. But 100% you can. Common couch, I'd say you probably can't quite get to greens height because it's got that thicker blade. You can train it there, but it's never going to look the same as a hybrid couch. Yeah. Well, thanks for the look around, Ben. It's quite the project, all done by yourself. It's a real credit to you. It's really cool what you've done, and I'm glad you can put in some tip-tuff and some grains, some of our varieties, which we're pretty keen to see how they do in a climate like this. And you've done a lot already, but what's next? What's the next project? There's always something going on, but the zoysia obviously, the Sir Grange, and then I'm going to do 3 tee boxes, all irrigated, which will go just so have different pin positions to shoot into, and then. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You got a name for it? You got a golf club name? I haven't yet. Okay. Suggestions would be great. We'll work on that. But appreciate you showing us around, mate. This is really cool, and it's good to come out to beautiful sunny Orange. That was very nice. Again, Ben Sims's Lawn Tips channel on YouTube. Subscribe along, and you can follow Ben's journey as he develops his place even more. And it's a really cool channel to follow and check out. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We hope to catch you next time.